Hello folks, sorry it's been a while since I've posted a video. To be honest, I've been quite embarrassed. Oh my god, hummingbird, two of them. Did you see those? Did you see the hummingbirds? Oh my goodness, beautiful, a pair of hummingbirds. Oh wow, okay. Well, after we got, since that was amazing, I just caught them on camera. Okay, back to what I was saying after our beautiful hummingbirds interrupted my video. I haven't done any videos recently because I'm quite ashamed of how much the weeds took over. I took a break from gardening while in the end of May, while the cicadas were swarming, because I did not want to be outside with the cicadas. And in that 3 to 4 week span, the weeds kind of took over, and I've been scrambling to try and get ahead of them, which has been a never-ending battle due to the heat. Right now we're in the middle of summer, middle of July, and every day it is incredibly hot. But here is one of my gardens. It's full of zinnia and tick seed. The Mexican sunflower it's in the middle there, and it looks like it's thriving. I don't have any blooms yet, but they'll come. My magnolia bush looks really sad. We've been in a drought for, I'd say, the last 3 to 4 weeks, and everything needs water. This next week we're going to have a lot of rain, so hopefully things will perk up. There's my red bud tree, still thriving, even though I cut half of it back last year from the dieback disease. Let's see, let's go through here. This plant here had really beautiful purple flowers. I'm not sure what it is, but I gotta look it up. But we got more zinnia and tick seed. Here's one of my dahlias. There's another one. I've had to put stakes in the ground to take them up because they're heavy and they tend to flop over. There's a cosmos right there in front of my butterfly bush. We got some more zinnias in here and dahlias. My bee balm doesn't look so good. I'm probably going to deadhead it and see if it does anything. I got a new pole there. Added some new pathway lighting. This black-eyed Susan looks gorgeous. That Latania is gotten huge. Got a few new plants that I'm going to try and fill in some of these spots. Meanwhile, getting rid of some of the more weeds. My lilac looks to be doing good. Normally around this time of year, her leaves start getting burnt, but she's doing okay. Been trying to keep giving her lots and lots of water. I do see some burnt leaves right here. My peacock orchids have not bloomed any, but they are growing pretty well, so maybe I'll get some good blooms next year. Got some more cosmos, and things are huge. And I did not plant any cosmos this year. These are all cosmos that are reseeded from last year. But here's the rest of my garden. All the gladiolas are done blooming. My flower pots show lots of signs of the heat and the drought. I try and water these things every day, but it's hard to keep up with it. The hot sun beating down. My St. John's wort looks a little sad. Been trying to make sure it gets lots of water. Maybe I'm watering it too much. We do have some new growth and some blooms coming in, so he's not too incredibly unhappy. I got some flowers recently. I'm going to refresh these white planters because the pansies are not liking the heat. But anyways, it's a little bit of a mess, but here is my finished patio. I'm actually quite pleased with how it turned out, despite it not looking the best. Obviously not done by professional, but it's sufficient and I like it. I'm happy with it. My toad lilies, some of them are looking a little bit burnt. This is like one of the most shadiest parts of my garden, but it still gets a lot of midday sun and they're not that happy with it. But trying to keep it watered. Let's come around here to the front. My baptisias have gotten huge. My penstemons look really sad. My tiger lilies are pretty much done blooming. Recently, I've started trying to clean up this garden. I got the mailbox garden done and all the way up to here. Little by little, I'm going to keep doing what I've done over here and here to the rest of that and clean it up. These petunias look really sad. Even though it rained last night, it is just so dry. And you can tell it's showing signs of heat and drought. I cut back this wine and roses regala, because it's looking pretty sad, but there's new growth on it, so it's promising. Probably in the fall I might cut them back a little bit more, or either wait till mid-spring, early spring. Now over here, all of my primrose is pretty much done. I've got several of the butterfly weed babies that have come up all over the place. My guaras are not doing very well, and since this whole area lacks so much color, I went and got me some echinacea, black-eyed Susans, and daisies, and then a few other annuals to help spruce up this area, because that primrose took over so much. I'm pulling a lot of it out. A couple weeks ago, one of the garden centers had this peony on clearance, and it was still looking fairly healthy. So since the little tuber that I bought from Walmart did not survive, I decided I'm going to try this guy, keep him watered, and hopefully he'll have beautiful flowers in the spring. I see a lot of columbine in this garden. Jacob's ladder didn't survive. The ferns are still alive. Continuing to try and keep them water, so hopefully that next year they'll thrive. All new transplants tend to suffer a little bit of shock when they're transplanted into your garden. So the first year they might not do very well. But it looks like the balloon flowers are pretty much done. And even the columbine are showing signs of the heat in the summer and are starting to die back. This pot here, these are 2 fall perennials that I transplanted after the spring when they came back up. They are not looking very good. Let's see what I can do to kind of help them so that they actually have flowers come fall. Over here, my salvias are still blooming a little bit. My gardenia is doing actually fairly well, considering the shock that it had from the winter. I'll probably trim off the dead branches and let her keep giving her lots of water and fertilizer, and hopefully she'll be well established to do well and thrive next year. Now this garden here, you can definitely see all signs of the drought and the heat. Some stuff has died. I'm going to be putting a few more flowers, annuals in here to bring back some color. Now this garden here, that little bitty pestamon is still alive. My begonia's coming back. Even that little guy right there has new growth, and I'm surprised. And then there's a little toad lily in that black pot right there. It actually did come up and it's still alive. I'll be able to transplant them in my toad lily garden next year. Got one daylily blooming. A bachelor button. Still has flowers on it. A little scraggly, but blue really brightens things up. My rose. Not doing too shabby. Still looks like it's getting eaten though. And then in this my daylily garden, I've had a few more flowers throughout the year. And they're all just seem to be looking okay, that they're gonna survive and give me lots of pretty flowers next year. Latanias are thriving in this area. Sorry. And that's about it.